Hi guys, today I just wanted to talk about building a registry and the importance of doing it early. That kind of seems a little counterintuitive because I know for me I was trying not to count my chickens before they hatch, so to speak. There were definitely some times during the early parts of pregnancy where I was so tired that all I could do was kind of stay on the couch all day because I was just so tired. And so I figured this would be a great time to research things like, I actually started with diapers. And there were a lot of videos and kind of led me down the rabbit trail of deciding to go with wool cloth diapering. And I can do a video on that later. My research went into strollers or car seats, strollers, beds, things like that. And I found out a lot about fire retardants or flame retardants and just all of this stuff that's in baby products that you really don't want for an infant, let alone anyone. And I'll put a bunch of links below of a great couple blogs that I found that were really useful, and they had done a ton of research, and there's just a lot out there, but there's a couple great ones that list some options that don't have flame retardants or fire retardants. But today I just wanted to talk about the importance of why it's helped me doing a registry kind of pretty early. And that's especially if you want to go take more of a minimalist approach or zero waste approach and buy secondhand and used things, because you want to keep an eye out for things like, you know, your secondhand stores and garage sales or consignment events in our area, which is not too big, but we have in the surrounding probably hour, there's 3 or 4 at least different types of these consignment sales, and they happen twice a year, so it's at least 6 to 8 big events that happen every year. It can be very overwhelming if you don't have a list with you, but having a list and knowing what you're there for, you know, kind of prevents the, oh, look how cute these little outfits are. And so that's kind of what I did. And honestly, I didn't really hear anyone talk about this. So that's kind of why I'm doing a video, because I just kind of happened to do it early, and then I ended up happening on a couple big ticket items that were on my list that are now off of my list because I was thankfully able to find. So I'm going to kind of show you what those are and how I found them. I was doing research on sleepers or rockers or bouncers or whatever you call them. And I know a lot of moms swear by the Fisher Price Rock and Play, and I know like they've been a lifesaver for many, but there are flame retardants in them, and that was just kind of disappointing to me. And you know, the baby's so small and is going to be spending so much time in there. And I had a friend who just used a very simple style little bouncer that just kind of, you know, bounced this way, and it had a little kind of pack in the front that had batteries, and that's kind of all she used, and it was really easily portable and you can move it from room to room. And I liked that idea over these kind of big swings. So I came upon this baby Bjorn Bouncer, and it was, I believe, around $130, $140. And then there's actually this little a couple different attachments you can buy for an extra $50 that are made from wood, and I think painted with like low VOC paint, and cute but not essential. The thing I liked about the bouncer is that it was made from 100% organic cotton with no chemicals in it, and it can just slip off the frame and then you can throw it in the wash. And then it's also made with very little plastic, so that was a huge plus for me. But you know, it was $139, and actually I think the cheapest I found it was at Bed Bath & Beyond with a 20% off coupon. Okay, so fast forward to my husband and I took a trip to Savannah, Georgia. I was like, hey, since there's not a lot of consignment shops here in our town, let's kind of, when we go places, let's check out a consignment store and just see what they have. And so we went in, and within like 3 minutes we look, and sure enough, we see the baby Bjorn Bouncer, and it was $35 with this little toy attached. So this is probably $180 to $200 for this thing. We got for $35. It's in super great condition. Yeah, it looks really nice, but it just kind of, you kind of unfold it and it just clicks into place, and then it bounces, and then yeah, you can kind of move it around. And then the second thing, I had seen a lot of people say that they love a breastfeeding pillow called My Breast Friend versus the traditional Boppy pillows, which I hadn't heard about until this pregnancy, but a girl on YouTube that I follow, she found one secondhand and it looked really great, and I was like, man, that's so nice that she could find that secondhand. Unfortunately, like, I probably just, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing that, like, and who knows kind of what conditions, you know, if the baby peed on it or whatnot. But so I think it's about $36 or so on Amazon. I thought that's not bad. But then, and I had looked actually on eBay and Poshmark maybe to see if they had any secondhand ones, and they did, but I just wasn't too sure that, you know, pictures can be deceiving sometimes, especially if they're not great pictures. So, but then my husband and I went to a Goodwill, and sure enough, look what I found. I found this pillow in great condition. You know, the whatever this stuff is, the webbing here is white and it's really bright. And the actual pillow part, like upon inspecting it, it doesn't, we unzipped it and there's a foam, and we looked and there's no, like, you know, sometimes with water stains you can kind of see like a ring. There's none of that. And then on the fabric, I mean, it looks like maybe this mama barely used it. And I don't mind the print. I was kind of, there were some prints, I'm so neutral that there were some prints that were just really unappealing to me, and I don't know. This was a pretty neutral one. So we got this one for $2.99. I was blown away. I was just tickled pink. So these are kind of the two things that we found, and I think that we wouldn't have maybe known to be looking for them. But I just think that I was really stressed out about, I want to be able to buy secondhand. I want to give these things new homes, you know, for them being in such good condition. Like, I mean, this thing is hanging on the rack. Like, what is this? Who is going to buy this? You know, I wouldn't. I'd be like, what the heck? It just looks weird if you don't know what it is. And so I feel like that would have been something that would have easily gone into a landfill had we not, you know, picked it up. So I feel really happy about having our list now. We actually had a family member who has twin girls. They were getting rid of a bunch of stuff in a garage sale and kind of asked if we wanted to maybe have some of their more gender neutral things, since we're not telling people what gender the baby will be. And you know, I knew, hey, I wanted some of those sleepers that zip up with the little footies, because I had watched a bunch of moms say how important those were. You don't want to be snapping in the middle of the night doing a diaper change. And I know my friends' babies that I've changed, like those snaps, man, I can never figure them out. And that's like in the middle of the day. I can't even imagine doing that at nighttime. And so I just think that I had a couple Burt's Bees onesies made from organic cotton on my registry, but I think that knowing that's what I'm looking for, if I go to a consignment store, I'm not going to buy a onesie that has a bunch of snaps anymore, which I used to do because I thought it was a cute pattern, or, you know, I liked the look of it. But now I think I'm able to kind of have a more narrowed in mindset of, this is what I think we're looking for. Kind of along those veins too, we're wanting to cloth diaper and use cloth wipes, and so I know I want to be looking for like used receiving blankets made out of flannel, or like a flannel sheet, and that's something I'm going to probably want to buy secondhand or used. So those are all things I've got, you know, I don't know how many months I have left. I have several months left to keep my eye out for these things, but I think there's definitely that pressure to kind of buy everything new because it's easier. But I think that this has been a great way for us to feel good about giving these items new life, and also kind of not contributing to the landfill as much as we can. So yeah, I just think that that's been really helpful for us to know what we specifically have on our list, so that when we go out, we have an easier time and it's not as overwhelming. And then again, we are not adding to kind of the consumeristic approach of buying everything new. Hopefully that's helped you, and maybe at the very least justified feeling like you can go and start a registry for yourself.